Hello, you are watching the News Daily Bulletin. Let's have a look at the headlines.
The 4th National Assembly session will convene in Hanoi on October 22. Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng and a high-ranking delegation arrived in Phnom Penh on October 19 to pay tribute to Cambodia's King Father. The 15th session of Vietnam and Russia agrees to establish a high-level joint working group to speed up joint cooperation projects.
President Trương Tấn Sang met with visiting Bulgarian Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Simeon Dyankov in Hanoi on October 19. He said the visit will help strengthen the traditional friendship and multifaceted cooperation between the two countries.
President Sang said Vietnam always treasures the support from Bulgarian people and government, especially in training thousands of officials and workers. He spoke highly of the positive development of the bilateral ties between the two countries and said Vietnam hopes to welcome Bulgarian president early next year. Sang also asked Bulgaria to help strengthen ties between Vietnam and the European Union. He added that Vietnam is willing to serve as a bridge for Bulgaria to increase relations with ASEAN member countries. For his part, Dyankov said many Bulgarian businesses are interested in the Vietnamese market and hope for favorable conditions to come to the country. The same day, President Sang hosted a reception for Phan Duong Chit Vuong Sa, chairman of the Lao Front for National Construction in Hanoi. The president expressed his belief that effective cooperation between the Lao Front and the Vietnam Fatherland Front will contribute to deepening the traditional friendship between the two peoples. Vuong Sa spoke highly of the cooperation between Vietnam and Laos mass mobilization and front agencies. He said Vietnam's theory and practice will be helpful for the party-building work in Laos. He also pledged to do his utmost to contribute to strengthening cooperation between the two mass organizations as well as the solidarity between the two countries and peoples.
The National Assembly office has announced that the 4th National Assembly session will convene in Hanoi on October 22 and conclude on November 22.
At a press briefing on October 19th, the National Assembly office said the session will consider revisions to 9 laws, including those on anti-corruption, tax management and personal income tax. Lawmakers will also give comments on draft revisions to the 1992 Constitution. The amendments will be discussed for 2 days and broadcast live. The National Assembly is expected to ratify a resolution on procedures to conduct vote of confidence for positions elected and approved by the National Assembly or local people's councils. 10 days will be set aside for a discussion on the government's reports on the implementation of socio-economic plans and budget estimation in 2012 and plans for 2013, as well as a project that aims to restructure the economy. 2.5 days will be provided for question and answer sections. 13 sessions will be broadcast live, an increase of 5 from the previous meeting. A number of them are debates and ratification of resolutions.
Vietnamese leaders continue to offer condolences to Cambodia over the death of former King Norodom Sihanouk. On October 19, President Trương Tấn Sang paid floral tribute to the late king at the residence of the Cambodian ambassador in Hanoi.
Sang wrote in the memorial book expressing sorrow over the death of the former king, who is a close friend of Vietnam. He praised the support and affection that the late king has given to Vietnam. Over the 3 days from October 17, more than 30 delegations from central and local agencies, the business community, and many overseas embassies and organizations based in Hanoi paid tribute to former King Sihanouk. Also on October 19, a high-ranking delegation of the Communist Party of Vietnam and the Vietnamese State, National Assembly and Government, led by Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng, arrived in Phnom Penh to pay tribute to the late king. Prime Minister Dũng and his entourage laid a wreath in tribute to the King Father at the Cambodian Royal Palace and extended condolences to Queen Mother Norodom Moninis Sihanouk and King Norodom Sihamoni. The Queen Mother and King Norodom Sihamoni expressed their thanks to Vietnamese leaders and people for their sympathy. They also pledged to make further contribution to fostering the relationship between Vietnam and Cambodia. The same day, Prime Minister Dũng met with his Cambodian counterpart Hun Sen to exchange views on some issues regarding regional cooperation of mutual concern. The two sides agreed to continue fostering the solidarity and relations between the two countries, as well as the Vietnam-Laos-Cambodia ties. Prime Minister Dũng and his entourage left Phnom Penh for Vietnam the same day.
The 15th section of the Vietnam-Russia Intergovernmental Committee on Economic Trade and Scientific Technological Cooperation closed in Moscow on October 19 after 2 days of working.
The committee agreed upon the roadmap of the Vietnam-Russia Joint Action Plan on Economic, Trade and Investment Ties until 2015. The two sides also approved the establishment of the high-level joint working group led by the Vietnamese Minister of Industry and Trade and the Russian Economic Development Minister to speed up joint cooperation projects. The two sides agreed to strive for breakthroughs in bilateral economic and trade cooperation, including the early start of negotiations of a free trade area agreement between Vietnam and the Customs Union of Russia, Kazakhstan, and Belarus. The two sides agreed that the Vietnam-Russia political relations have seen fine development with high level of trust. At the same time, economic trade cooperation developed dynamically, with two-way trade turnover in 2012 being estimated at $3 billion. The next session will be held in Hanoi in the second half of 2013.
A high-ranking delegation from the Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics Public Administration is visiting Laos from October 19. The delegation has been received by Laos Politburo member and Deputy Prime Minister Somsavat Lengsavat.
The head of the Vietnamese delegation, Ta Ngọc Tấn, the Academy's director, said that the visit aims to strengthen cooperation with the Lao National Academy of Politics and Public Administration. He expressed his thanks to the two countries' leaders for facilitating the cooperation between the two academies, which brings about fruitful results and contributes to celebrating the 2012 Vietnam-Laos Solidarity and Friendship Year. On his part, the Lao Deputy Prime Minister thanked Vietnam's state, party, people, and the Ho Chi Minh Political Academy for their support to Laos, especially in political theory training. He also highly valued the results of the two academies' cooperation over the past time and urged the two sides to continue strengthening experience exchange and cooperation in personnel training and scientific research. Also on October 19, the Vietnamese delegation attended a ceremony to hand over a new facility for the Lao National Academy of Politics and Public Administration, built with non-refundable aid from Vietnam. The facility, the second phase of a project on upgrading teaching and working conditions for the Lao Academy, includes a main building with 32 classrooms and staff rooms, as well as a 62-room dormitory sitting on a site of 3,000 square meters.
Hanoi's Consumer Price Index (CPI) in October rose 0.37% against the previous month, according to the Municipal Statistics Office.
Out of the 11 baskets of commodities measured, only post and telecommunications services remain unchanged. However, the price increases of most of the commodities were not remarkable. The price of homes, fuel, and construction materials saw the highest increase of 1.17% against the previous month. They were followed by culture, entertainment and tourism and transport categories, which saw the rise by 0.82%, 0.78% and 0.63% respectively. Compared to 1 year ago, the price index showed a 6.75% increase.
And that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.